Hello, and a very warm welcome to everyone who is joining us this morning for our KTJ Primary Open Day webinar. My name is Kris Davis, and I'm delighted to be joined by Michelle Fletcher this morning. This webinar, an open day, should last for around about 45 minutes. It will also include time for a question and answer session at the end as well. Now, this morning, we will focus predominantly on our Key Stage 2 provision, though we will, of course, give you lots more information about the school as a whole as well. In addition to this, we will also be giving you more information about our exciting Key Stage 2 curriculum. That's for children aged 7 to 11 years old. And you will also have the opportunity to hear from our principal, Dr. Moody, myself, as I said, Kris Davis. I'm the incoming head of primary for the next academic year, as well as Michelle Fletcher, our new deputy head of primary from August. We'll talk you through the different aspects of the Key Stage 2 curriculum, plus the extracurricular and academic enrichment activities which complement classroom learning, as well as a range of other useful bits of information as well. Now, should you have any questions throughout this webinar, please do use the chat function. You can send these in to us. Now, only ourselves will be able to see these questions, so please don't be shy or worried about asking any questions, no matter how big or small they are. The idea of this morning is for you to learn more about us and for also us to tell you more about KTJ and the fantastic education that we provide for our students. Now, of course, we'd love to be able to do this in person and show you around the school face to face, but hopefully you'll be able to get a good flavour and feel for us as a school here today. But first, to begin with, I'd like to introduce you to our school principal here at KTJ, Dr. Moody, and he'll tell you a little bit more about himself, the school, and some of our values.
Good morning and welcome to College Tuanku Jaffa. My name is Glenn Moody, and I'm very proud to be the principal of this school. I joined the school around 18 months ago, and I found it to be a warm and welcoming environment, and also an institution which provides the highest quality education. I am a parent of the school as well. I moved to Malaysia, having spent nearly 20 years working in private boarding schools in the UK, including most recently as the head of a school in Cornwall. There is a lot to tell you about KTJ, and I will soon pass over to my colleagues who will explain more about the primary school. However, before I do so, I want to give you a little of the background of the school. KTJ was founded in 1991, making us one of the more well-established international schools in Malaysia. It was founded by 3 members of the Negeri Sembilan royal family, Yang Amat Mulia Tunku Nakiden, Yang Amat Mulia Tunku Dara, and Yang Amat Mulia Tunku Imran, and named in the honour of their father, who was, of course, a king of Malaysia. They were inspired by their boarding school experiences in the UK, and their vision was to provide a similar experience here, locally in Malaysia, as embracing the best of British and international education, but firmly rooted in a Malaysian context. In 2013, the school expanded and the primary school was added. While the primary is a day school, both the primary and the secondary benefit from the all-round approach to education, which a boarding ethos brings, and also from the passion which Tunku Nakiden and Tunku Imran in particular have for sport. We believe in delivering not just an academic education inside the classroom, but educating the whole child. This includes helping them to find their passions, building their characters, and giving them a global perspective. Underpinning all of this is a strong mission and ethos, which goes back to the founding of the school. At the heart of this are our values of integrity, empathy, and mutual respect. These values are central to the way the school is run and to the decisions which we make. KTJ has an ambitious vision for the next 10 years, and you can find out more about this from our publication, Vision 2030, which is available on our website. In the short term, one of our points of focus has been adapting to online teaching and learning. I've been pleased with the way in which our teachers and students have fully embraced this new mode of working. And it has been fantastic to see some amazing ideas put into action. Whilst we would all rather be in school, this period has given teachers and students the chance to develop some new skills, and I believe we are all the better for this. During this period, we have tried to add value in other ways as well. Most recently, we have added a series of webinars for parents, which are broadcast on Monday and Wednesday evenings. These are open to all parents, whether they are already members of our community or not, and details are published on our social media channels. So finally, from me, I would like to reiterate what I said at the beginning, a very warm welcome to KTJ. I hope you will find this morning's presentations informative, and I hope we will see you again soon.
Okay, so thank you, Dr. Glenn. Now you know a little bit more about the school, its history, its origins, and our values. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about myself. Now, as I mentioned right at the beginning, my name is Kris Davis, and I'm delighted to have been appointed as the new head of KTJ Primary from August. Now, it's important for you as a prospective parent to learn more about myself, as well as all the other staff here at KTJ. And so I hope you get to know me a little better about my educational philosophy and also my vision for the school as well. Now, I moved to Malaysia and also to KTJ with my wife, Stephanie, about 5.5 years ago now. And I'm currently working as the Deputy Head of Primary. I'm also a member of the whole school senior leadership team. And in addition to this, I'm also the primary school safeguarding lead, helping to ensure that all of our students are safe, happy, and cared for, both at home and in school. I'm also passionate about my own learning, and I'm about to complete my master's degree in educational leadership and management as well. In terms of my educational philosophy, I truly do believe that at the heart of any school, there must lie a vision that seeks to develop every student academically and holistically beyond the curriculum. Schools should shape positive, lifelong learners who are ready and equipped for the future in what is already, as we are currently experiencing, a fast and changing and unpredictable world. I also strongly believe in the importance of parental partnerships between schools and families. This is an integral part in helping to make sure all children make progress. And I know how important it is for parents and their children to feel that they're part of a warm and welcoming and positive community. And that's certainly one of the things I love most about KTJ. Essentially, children need and deserve to feel safe and happy at school. And if we can get those two things right, children will make progress and develop as learners and as young people. During my time here at KTJ, I've seen the school make so many positive improvements. I've absolutely loved I've loved being here, and I'm so excited about our future and leading further development. Now, as all excellent schools do, we'll be looking at ways to improve the quality of education that we provide, with particular attention being paid to teaching and learning, curriculum development, as well as how we can best prepare students to transition between key stages and eventually to the secondary school. Now, KTJ it's at an exciting stage in its development, and I couldn't be more proud and motivated to be leading our existing staff, as well as new staff who will be joining us as we continue to move forward and improve. Now, I've got a young daughter myself, and I can't think of any greater motivation than helping to develop a school that will give her and our other children a great start to their learning journey. I know as well firsthand that the skills and the experience and the expertise of all our staff, both academic and non-academic, will help to ensure that KTJ remains what is a special place for children to learn and to grow and to be inspired at school. Now, that hopefully gives you an insight into me and my values and my background. And so I'd like to pass you over now to our incoming Deputy Head of Primary, Michelle Fletcher, and she would like to tell you a little bit more about herself as well.
Thank you, Kris. Good morning, everyone. It is lovely to have you joining us here this morning. My name is Michelle Fletcher, and I'm very excited to be the incoming Deputy Head of KTJ Primary for the upcoming academic year. To give you a little bit of background on my journey in education, I began my teaching career over 10 years ago in my home country of New Zealand. And after several years teaching there, I made the move to Korea, where I taught in an international school there for 4 years. Following this, I had the opportunity to move to Malaysia, and I've now been here for 3 years with my husband, who is also a teacher here at KTJ. And we've really fallen in love with Malaysia and the school. During my time here, I've completed my Master's in Education, which reflects my own educational philosophy about instilling a love of lifelong learning in our students. I believe it's vital to model this to our children, that it's not just for school, but for life that we learn. I'm passionate about ensuring our learners are equipped to take on the challenges of the future, and I'm thrilled to be part of the leadership team here at KTJ that are working to ensure this transpires for every one of our learners.
Thank you, Michelle. Now, I'd like to tell you now a little bit more about our engaging and rewarding curriculum here at KTJ. And I'm going to do that with specific regard to the Key Stage 2 learners, but I also think it's important to try and give you a broad overview of the whole primary curriculum, as well as how this then helps to create a learning experience that's both well planned and builds from one year group to the next. Now, our curriculum model is based on helping children acquire the knowledge, the skills and the understanding and a range of competencies that children need as they move through the primary school and later to the secondary school. Underpinning our curriculum are our school values of integrity, empathy and mutual respect. And this is something that all of our staff model and aim to instill in our children. Our curriculum is also informed by ongoing assessment, and that helps us to plan and adapt and challenge all of our students appropriately. We follow the English National Curriculum for English, Mathematics and Science, and we also follow the International Primary Curriculum, or the IPC, for other primary subjects, and they include things like geography, history, design and technology, art, as well as looking at other global perspectives through the society and international themes and learning goals. And these subjects are taught by the class teachers, and they're also ably supported by our dedicated teaching assistants and support staff. Our youngest students in the school are taught the International Early Years Curriculum, and that provides an excellent foundation for the IPC, the International Primary Curriculum, as well as covering all of the learning development goals of the Development Matters Guidance, which is used in the UK for early years children. Our curriculum enables us to provide academic rigor, and it provides good preparation for the secondary school, as well as an engaging and creative learning experience for all of our students. We offer a broad and balanced curriculum that allows the children to develop their interests and talents. And our curriculum places an emphasis on the importance of the core areas of literacy, maths and science, as I mentioned. And we're also committed to providing a holistic education, and character development is an important part of this. Now, part of the IPC, children learn about the 8 personal learning goals and how they can develop these within themselves. They are inquiry, thoughtfulness, cooperation, respect, communication, adaptability and resilience and morality. And these are key to our curriculum. Now, in addition to the subjects that I've mentioned, we also offer a range of other subjects, and these are taught by specialist teachers too. So each week, children will take part in a weekly swimming lesson, they have a PE lesson, a music lesson, a session in the library, and they also have 2 language lessons as well, from Malay, French and Mandarin. Now, in Key Stage 2, students are able to take 2 Malay lessons a week, and that will help them prepare them for secondary school, as well as any potential future examinations in this subject that are required. Now, not only do we utilise teachers who are specifically trained in these subjects, we're also able to offer Key Stage 2 students the opportunity to use the secondary school facilities for many of these. So an example of this might be our state-of-the-art building, which has recently been built for the arts, and that's called the Waterfront. And Key Stage 2 children use that for music lessons, for design and technology lessons, for art lessons. We also take advantage of the fantastic sports and swim facilities in the secondary school with part of our PE and swimming provision. Now, not only does this help to facilitate excellent learning, but we also find that this inspires and motivates children to do better. It's also a key part of the transition to the secondary school, and it helps to familiarise students with the teachers and the school environment there as well. Now, it's crucial, I've mentioned transition there, it's crucial that this transition doesn't just begin in year 6, but it should be a gradual process that takes place throughout Key Stage 2. And we find it really does help to give a sense of whole school community and belonging. So when the children do eventually make it to the secondary school, they're already well experienced and feel comfortable in that environment. Now, with the curriculum, we also know at KTJ that there are times when children might need additional support or additional challenge. Now, our curriculum aims to ensure that each child is appropriately challenged according to their individual needs. We have a fantastic team of support staff who work with children for a variety of different reasons. Examples of this, we have 2 dedicated EAL teachers. They are for students who have English as an additional language, and they work with class teachers and students to provide both in-class support as well as additional out-of-class lessons. And that really helps to build and develop students' English language skills. And not only that, but also the confidence to use them. We also have a learning support coordinator who's able to offer support for children with additional learning needs. Here, she will work with class teachers and parents to develop what we call individual education plans, and they give clear, achievable targets for students to work towards. Again, this can take place both in and out of the classroom, and we really do find that this provision makes a huge difference to enable children to access the curriculum. Similarly, our teachers also recognise that children need to be challenged the other way, and so we support children to extend their learning. As well as providing challenge through differentiated learning activities, there are also opportunities for children to learn from and with other students and teachers. Now, this might be academically, but it also might take place in the form of the arts or in sports. So, for example, Key Stage 2 students are often invited to train or join sports clubs or training sessions with older students, sometimes in the secondary school, sometimes within the primary school. And likewise, the same happens for children who have particular musical or artistic talents. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this comes back to ensuring that we're aiming to appropriately challenge all students to fulfill their potential while here at KTJ.
Great. So I would now like to share a little bit about how we integrate information and computer technology, or ICT, throughout our curriculum here at KTJ. So as I mentioned during my introduction, I've been part of the team here for 3 years, and during this time, I've been responsible for leading ICT across the primary school. ICT has always been a passion of mine, and I like to bring the research of great educational practices into the classroom. At KTJ, we understand the importance of finding a balance between digital and traditional learning methods, and we work hard to ensure we provide an array of learning activities that reflects this. And when it does come time to incorporate tech in the classroom, we are very fortunate here to have so many great tools to support and engage our learners. So a big part of our ICT curriculum at its core is ensuring our learners are responsible digital citizens. This means they practice online safety seriously and are critical thinkers. Developing our students' inquiry skills starts from early years and progresses right through the school in an age-appropriate manner. At KTJ, we have lots of great tools to help bring our learning to life. Each classroom has brand new interactive smart boards, which have been fantastic for involving students in hands-on learning. We have pods of iPads and laptops that students can use, and then an array of other tech tools related to virtual and augmented reality. These tools are used for ICT that is integrated into all subjects of the curriculum, not taught as a standalone subject. We understand technology is not isolated in real life, and we try to replicate that in our learning by making sure students have a knowledge of what tools are available to help them in different situations, and that they know how to use these in digital literate and tech-savvy ways. Our ICT curriculum follows a progression of skills across the year groups, with a focus on building skills for the future, like collaborating safely online, communicating respectfully, and adapting to a continuously developing field. And in fact, I think we have seen a real-life application of these skills as we've moved our learning online during this MCO period. With our students being competent users of ICT, this has resulted in a smooth transition to our distance learning, where our quality of teaching and learning has remained at a very high standard. So while we hope to return to the new normal in school soon, I would like to share a little bit about how our curriculum has moved online during this time. Whilst it has obviously been a huge challenge for our community, I have been so impressed with the resilience and adaptability of our learners and our staff. The development of knowledge and skills from our in-class learning around ICT has meant that the learning has continued seamlessly throughout this time, and students have been able to collaborate together in meaningful ways and complete activities to a really high standard. A big focus for us during this time has of course been on our children's well-being, and so we have worked hard to maintain our sense of school and class community. Our team of counsellors and our safeguarding team have been on hand to support children and families, and a large part of this for our primary learners is again ensuring that balance between screen time and time away from devices. One of the ways we have tried to combat this is we have been running our full range of specialist subjects during our online learning, with PE and fitness being central to our holistic education approach. We've been running live interactive high-intensity training and skills sessions alongside daily tasks and challenges to keep our learners healthy and active. These have been led by our head of PE, pictured here, Mr. Dan. And alongside this, we've continued with our language, music, art, and technology lessons. For Key Stage 2, we've been using a mixture of live sessions and pre-recorded video lessons for our core subjects to make sure all students are able to access their learning at a convenient time for them, dependent on things like sharing devices at home. We certainly understand the need for flexibility and adaptability at this time. We use Google Apps for education across the whole school and have utilised Google Classroom for our online learning in Key Stage 2. This is used in school as well for communication and home learning, and it is great preparation for secondary school where this platform is also used. We've also used a range of other different tools that allow for collaboration between our students to try and capture that spark and excitement of discussion and ideas like they would experience in the classroom when face-to-face learning with their teacher and their friends. We've also been offering an online version of our Extracurricular Activities, or our ECA program, which has now been coined the 3 o'clock club, and that hopes to offer a breadth of different activities that our students would be participating in if we were in school. And that leads me on to our enriching ECAs, or extracurricular activities, that we offer across the school from early years right through into secondary. We've mentioned already about our holistic approach to education, and our ECAs is one practical way that we cater for this. Our school day finishes for primary at 2:30, and then we begin our ECAs, which run for an hour from 2:40 to 3:40. These are led by our staff alongside a few external providers for certain activities. The activities offered vary each term, and students are able to look through the options with their parents and choose which activities they would like to sign up for. Most of these activities are covered by the school fees, with the odd exception of some ECAs which may incur a small fee. We have a proud sporting heritage at KTJ, and many students choose to sign up for a sporting ECA during this time. In Key Stage 2, that is an ever-growing list, but it can include things such as basketball, golf, football, squash, taekwondo, badminton, cricket, rugby, table tennis, wall climbing, t-ball, athletics, or swimming. And many of these ECAs lead to the opportunity to join our school's representative teams, where they can compete against other international schools in Malaysia, and a highlight for many students, an overseas tournament. Students love the opportunity to utilise facilities in the secondary, just mentioned also by Mr. Kris, such as our climbing wall and our gymnasiums, along with a new purpose-built sports hall, which is planning and will be under construction soon. Alongside our sporting ECAs, we also have several academic-focused ECAs to support students further with their in-class learning. We offer a range of ECAs around music, such as our very popular rock band, who work towards putting on a concert. We have ECAs for dance, drama, the arts, languages, coding and programming, STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and maths, cooking, and sustainability as well.
Thanks, Michelle. And I'd just like to reiterate actually what Michelle said. The ECA provision at school is such a strength, and the children really do absolutely love taking part in that program. It's something which is amazingly popular, very, very well attended, and it's something which really does help to develop the children outside of the classroom as well. Now, Michelle and I have spoken both at length about ourselves and some of the great things that we have to offer our students and our families. But what we'd like to do now is we'd like to show you a very short video of what life is like here at KTJ for our students. The video also show you some of the facilities that they use for lessons and for ECAs, like Michelle has just mentioned, as well as some of the experiences that they enjoy when they might move to the secondary school. Okay, so I'm going to play a short video now, and then we'll come back and we'll talk in a moment. Okay, now I really do love watching that video every time I see it. I think it really helps to highlight the fantastic provision that we have on offer throughout the school. You'd have seen there parts of the primary school and also the secondary school. We really do see this as a start of a learning journey for your students, and we really do want to make sure that they have such a successful time right throughout primary, but also preparing them well for the amazing opportunities that are available in the secondary school as well. Now, I'd also recommend and encourage you to follow our social media channels on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter to see more of these things too. Now, I'd like to move on and tell you a little bit more about our staff now. Now, I'm incredibly proud not only to be a member of staff here at school and to be leading our staff, but the skills and expertise of our staff are absolutely amazing. And that's one of the key things that helps us at KTJ deliver such a rich and holistic education. The quality and expertise and experience of our teachers, our teaching assistants and our support staff, they have so many skills which help to identify and nurture student skills and passions and different interests that they have. Now, we're proud of the fact that all of our class teachers hold internationally recognized teaching qualifications. They're also committed to their own development through ongoing CPD and staff training. In the classroom, class sizes are kept to a maximum of 22 students, and they're supported by their class teacher, but also a full-time teaching assistant. Now, we have smaller class sizes, and they help our teachers to gain a really deep understanding of each child and to ensure that their learning is personalised to help them fulfil their potential right across the curriculum. Teachers work closely with their teaching assistants and other learning support staff, and they offer focused support and interventions for both our most able learners and also those who require additional interventions as well, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. Class teachers, again, as I said, teach all of the core curriculum subjects of maths, English, science and IPC, but we do recognise that some subjects benefit from that specialist teaching that we talked about earlier, and so we have an extremely strong and experienced set of teachers who support this in PE and swimming, Bahasa Malay, Mandarin, French and music. They're all taught by specialist teachers who are well trained and experienced in that subject. But one of the reasons for this is we know that teachers who are genuinely passionate and knowledgeable about their subjects really do help to inspire students, and that will then help to develop and instill a deeper and broader understanding of the subject. Now, one of the real strengths, as both Michelle and I have touched upon earlier at KTJ, is our close links with the secondary school and the ability to share and utilise the facilities and resources across both schools. That happens on a daily basis here in the primary school with teachers or instructors, sports coaches, support staff working with our primary school students. And as well as these staff working with our learners, including our youngest children, as well as our Key Stage 2 students, our students will work with the secondary school teachers in other subjects as well. Now, in terms of staffing and recruitment, I think it's really important as parents you are aware of our commitment to safeguarding and keeping children safe in school. Now, as part of our recruitment and ongoing terms of employment, all of our staff must undergo thorough background checks in order to ensure that they are suitable to work with children and also the wider school community. Now, that also applies to all of our external coaches and instructors too. Safeguarding has played a huge part in our school life, and it's everybody's responsibility, whether they're a teacher, teaching assistant, administrative staff, to play their part in helping to keep children safe. So as well as providing children with a high quality education school experience, our most important priority is making sure that children enjoy a happy and rewarding and safe time at school. And these rigorous checks really do indeed help to ensure that this happens and we're able to do this. And I think that leads nicely on to the fact that one of the sort of key benefits of having those skilled and checked staff who are well qualified is that parents are then able to trust and have confidence in the school. And that not only are we providing an educational experience for them, but we're also keeping them safe. Because we understand that selecting the right school for your children is such an important process. And we want you to ensure that you are fully confident that the provision that we have in place at school meets your requirements and also helps to make sure that children are staying safe and happy.
Great. So while our students and staff are the most important part of what makes KTJ special, we are incredibly fortunate to also have outstanding grounds and facilities. Our unique location in the countryside of Negeri Sembilan means that we don't have to compromise between the size of our indoor learning environments and ensuring we have ample space for large outdoor areas, as we have 80 acres to spread out our learning across. Students at KTJ enjoy spacious classrooms alongside collaborative learning areas where they can spill out from their classroom and enjoy working with other students and teachers from other classes. The primary school boasts 2 outdoor playgrounds, one designed with younger learners in mind, and one more adventurous area for older students. And these are always monitored by members of staff whenever they are in use. We enjoy the use of surrounding fields, as seen in the last video, for playground and any organised outdoor activities. We have an on-site cafeteria in the primary school where students enjoy their daily snack, which is provided each morning, and a range of healthy eating options at lunchtime, which are also all included in our school fees. We have a junior pool on the primary campus where our younger learners attend their weekly swimming lessons and any water-based ECAs, and our older students use the large pool complex located on the secondary campus. We have our own KTJ serviced bus fleet that is used to safely transport students to and from these lessons. Being able to utilise the facilities located in the secondary school is a real benefit for our students. Our newly opened waterfront building is home to our art, technology and music lessons. Alongside this, we are able to use gymnasiums, auditoriums, fields and classrooms to support not only our transition for our Year 6 students from primary to secondary, but for all our learners as well. We're also really lucky to have a school doctor who is employed by the school who works on site in our KTJ Medical Centre. Her expertise, while always advantageous, have been invaluable during this time as we plan how to implement our school's new standard operating procedures, where we will be going above and beyond any government requirements for when we welcome students back on site. And these preparations are already well underway.
Thank you, Michelle. Now, as I mentioned right at the outset, we know how important it is to have excellent relationships with you, our parents. That will help to develop and build trust and confidence that we're able to offer the very best for your child. And one of the things I always say to people when they ask me about the school is that we have such a warm and positive feel to it. I love coming to school each day, as do our children. And to help develop and strengthen this, we make sure that we are communicating effectively with parents, because that is crucial that you feel informed about your child's learning, as well as knowing that you're encouraged to reach out and talk to us and use us when you need to. Now, we aim to achieve this in many different ways. Like I said, we want to develop a warm and open partnership with you as parents. So we very much value face-to-face contact wherever possible. And we welcome this on a daily basis, and we see this happen ordinarily when we're in school. Now, we like to, wherever possible as well, operate an open door policy to meet with staff. Now, that might be formally or informally at the beginning or the end of the day, or you're also able to book an appointment with the primary school office. We really want to make sure that we are approachable and you feel like you can come and chat to us about any aspect of your child's learning. Now, we know that this regular interaction helps to improve the homeschool partnership, and it also helps to keep you as parents up to date with things that are happening in school and with your children. Now, of course, because of the challenges of recent times, this hasn't been possible to be able to communicate face-to-face. And so that's why we've been fortunate to be able to rely on some of our other methods of communication as well that have been in place for some time now. Now, each child in the school has access to an online learning journal called Seesaw, and that allows teachers and children to upload photos and videos and other moments from school and their learning. And you can access that via mobile devices, tablets or computers, and you will be automatically notified when a new update comes to your tablet or your device or your computer. Now, that's a really great way to share more practical learning, as well as for sending messages and notes and feedback to parents throughout the week. And Seesaw really has been invaluable during the recent MCO and during our online learning phase. It's been a fantastic way of communicating with home and sharing learning. But also to supplement this, we know that we want to make sure that there are other channels of communication, and so we send home weekly communications through newsletters. We send out regular WhatsApp messages for reminders. We also send out electronic messages via email and Google Classroom, as well as the messages that we send home on Seesaw. Now, we know that learning is most successful when parents and schools work well together, and another way we ensure that happens is by inviting parents to our entry and exit points. Now, we welcome parents onto the site to share the different learning experience that the children have. In our entry and exit points, children invite their families to school and into their classrooms to begin their IPC units through what we call an entry point. And this is normally a fun and exciting hook or activity which aims to sort of engage the children and hook them into their learning that they'll be doing for the following half term or term. Now, at the end of the unit, parents are then invited back into school to see all of the different learning that's taken place, and that's typically led by the students, particularly in Key Stage 2, as the children are becoming much more independent and they're developing those inquiry skills and those presentation skills. This is typically led by students, and it's a really well attended, it's an extremely popular celebration of learning for all of our parents. Now, as a result of all of these things and our desire to be proactive in terms of meeting and greeting our students and families, we really do enjoy excellent partnerships with parents. As part of that, we also have an amazingly supportive parent-teacher committee, PTC, and we work closely alongside those. Myself as deputy head at the moment and the current head of primary work with parents right across the whole school. Each year group has a parent representative as part of the PTC, and they help pass messages across to parents from the PTC. It helps to communicate the amazing work that they do, and it really does help to build a sense of community as well. PTC do an absolutely amazing job at helping to arrange different celebrations, so things and festivals such as Deepavali or Christmas, Chinese New Year, Hari Raya, as well as supporting other subjects and other projects. So, for example, recently they've included a part funding for a science planetarium during our successful Science Week, as well as helping with our outreach and community projects. This is really important to us here at KTJ. And most recently, we've been working with the Ends In charity, and the PTC have been really, really helpful in supporting that as well. The school also works with the PTC to help arrange regular sports sessions at KTJ. We have a very, very popular Saturday sports session where students come to the campus on a normal basis on a Saturday, and that's led by members of the PTC. And they will help to prepare and practice for lots of the different sports that the children compete in at the primary school and different events. Okay. Right, well, firstly, thank you for listening to us today. Like I said, we'd much rather be able to meet in person and show you around the school when it's in action, but unfortunately that's not possible. I hope, though, that we've given you a really good insight into our school today. Like I said at the beginning, I absolutely love the school. I'm delighted to be leading it from August, and I know that it's such a special and fantastic place for children, and we hope to see you in person when we're actually able to do so. So I also wanted to say thank you to everybody who's posted questions in the chat room. Michelle and I are now going to try and answer some of these for you. If you have any questions that you haven't yet asked them or pop them into the chat box, then please feel free to add them now. So I'm going to just pass over to Michelle and see if we've got the first question available.
Great. I can see we've got one question that's come through, which is a really good one, actually. They are asking, their child is not very confident speaking English. Will that be a problem?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And like I mentioned a little bit earlier, we have a dedicated EAL support team. So EAL stands for English as an Additional Language. We've got two teachers who work really, really closely with class teachers to be able to support children and really personalize their learning to make sure that they're fully able to access the curriculum. We find that because of that provision, students make very, very quick progress. And in addition to that, we find that the in-class support, where our EAL teachers are able to go in and work alongside the children in their classroom, has a really, really beneficial impact on the children, not just in the academic process, but also it helps to build their confidence. So not only are they able to access the curriculum, but they also feel more comfortable socially in order to make friends, to socialize outside of the classroom. It's just as important. Now, one of the things we also know is that it's really important, though, that children who are not native English speakers still do have the opportunity to communicate in their home language. There is lots of research which suggests that this is a really important thing that children are able to do. And so class teachers and the EAL team really do make it a priority that children feel comfortable and have the opportunity to practice both their English skills, but also their home language as well. One of the things that we do for families as well, because sometimes it's not just the children who are not English speakers, is we also try to make sure that we translate any communications, particularly really important ones. We try and make sure that for parents' evenings, for example, we have translators available to come and support and able to better communicate that across to parents as well. But whilst we have, in the EAL team, I think one of the sort of responsibilities for all of our class teachers and all the educators at KTJ is that everybody is actually an EAL teacher, and so everybody is skilled. We work together as a staff body, collaboratively, as a whole school, to try and make sure that we're improving the provision and the support that we're able to give all of our students who are still learning English as an additional language.
Thank you, Kris. I think that's actually all the questions that we have in our chat box at the moment, but we are going to be providing contact details. So if you did have any other questions that you think of later that you wish you would have asked, then you'll be able to get in touch with us in other ways. And of course, we'll be able to respond to you and fill in those details for you.
Miss Michelle, there's just one that's just a very couple of quick ones that just literally popped in as you were speaking there. So I'm just very quickly going to try and answer those. We've had one question which says, do you have Islamic studies as part of the subjects? Islamic studies you're able to study Islamic studies as part of our ECA program. We understand that that's very important for some parents. It's not taught as a standalone subject as part of the curriculum, but we also understand that it's very important. And so through our assemblies, we make sure that we're doing learning around Islamic studies within that, particularly at periods of high or celebratory experiences. So we would do some learning around Hari Raya, for example, and all the children would study that as well. And the final one is can the school start normally in September? Well, of course, at the moment, we are relying on sort of government advice from the Ministry of Education. I know that our secondary school are planning to open for our Form 4 and our lower 6 students on the 24th of August. And so we are going to be sort of dictated by the Ministry of Education on that. We want to make sure that we can open face-to-face for face-to-face learning just as soon as we can, but we also are aware of our responsibilities to make sure that we are fully adhering to the guidelines of the RMCO and that the Ministry of Education have released. And so not only will we make sure that we are meeting those, but in many areas we will look to go beyond those as well. So we hope to start as soon as we can. We would all much rather be face-to-face, but we are going to be dictated a little bit by, well, very much so by the Ministry of Education. In that event, in September, then in the new term, then children would continue to have online learning. That would take place through a combination of Zoom and on Google Classroom, as is suggested by best practice. Okay, so in terms of what's going to happen next, please do look out for an email containing useful information about this open day. It will have details about an online application form, which you can find also on our website. There is a special deal in terms of if you apply, having attended this webinar, then we will waive the registration fee. But if you'd like some further information, then you can arrange a virtual consultation with one of our Key Stage 2 teachers or with one of our the members of our primary leadership team. And if you'd like to contact me, then please do. My email address is christopherdavis@ktj.edu.my. And so finally, thank you for listening. It's been amazing and really great to be able to speak to you this morning. I hope you've got a really good feel for our school and what we can offer, and we really do hope to meet you again soon. So thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Bye.